Good afternoon, fellow students and faculty. I am Dion Robinson, and I would like to welcome you to the 2017 Penn State Great Valley graduation. Today we celebrate history being made. What history, you ask? Your own. For some of us, this journey towards graduation began a few years ago, for others close to a decade. During that time, we have faced adversity, obstacles, and setbacks. This journey has challenged us to push ourselves past the confines of fear and doubt that many of our peers succumb to trying to accomplish this goal. Each of us sacrificed something to get to this day, to be here with our loved ones looking on proudly. For my fellow parents who are graduating today, that sacrifice may have been the precious commodity of time. Time away from the very reason you probably embarked on this difficult journey in the first place, your children. How many of your children's practices or games have you missed due to class? How many times have you apologized for not being able to take them to the park or play catch because you had a paper due? Even for those of you without children, how many events or gatherings have you missed with friends and family to complete an assignment? Fathers, mothers, husbands, wives, brothers and sisters, we have all had to put these roles aside to sacrifice to get to this day. On top of these sacrifices, imagine if you had traveled thousands of miles away from those you love to achieve this goal. This is the sacrifice many international graduates have had to make. Many of us have also had health issues, lost in family and friends, and endured other personal challenges during this journey. Dealing with these sudden events may have caused us to lose focus and question our path. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "We may stumble and fall, but shall rise again." It should be enough if we did not run away from the battle. I know that we all may have stumbled, but we did not run away from this challenge. This day makes us reflect on the people and circumstances that help shape and influence who we are today. I would like to share a story about one of our very own, Mr. Kyle Waters. His pursuit for his master's degree began in 2012. He was nervous and afraid to take on the daunting task of going back to school. At the time, he was a single father trying to raise a young daughter and balance a career. He did not know if he could successfully add school into the equation. After some consideration, he decided to enroll. His first professor was Sally Richmond. She was a lively and stern woman. When he first started her course, he felt overwhelmed and out of place. He emailed Professor Richmond 7 times in 12 hours, debating if he should drop out. He didn't think that grad school was for him, and he wasn't confident that he could adequately do the work. After reading his email, she replied, "Oh, okay. Just make sure you do it the proper way," and drop the course. He was shocked. He thought he was going to get some speech or some lecture about staying in class. Her nonchalant response confused and intrigued him a bit. He came in the next day during her office hours and said, "I'm confused. Normally teachers encourage students to try again and work harder." Sally said to him, "You are in graduate school. It's either you are going to do it or you're not going to do it. It's your choice." He looked at her and was stunned by what she had just said. She then walked past him and said, "I'll either see you in class or it was nice knowing you." After the conversation, he went to class, and it was the hardest 7 weeks of his life. But after all the stress and hard work, he finished her class with an A. After the class was over, she said to him, "I knew you could do it. Champions are made from hard work, not from pity parties or pampering." From that day on, he was inspired and motivated to continue his education and keep striving towards his degree. In June 2014, he encountered an obstacle on the path to goal. After reviewing his transcript, it was discovered that he never took a Java course that was required to enter the program. At this time, he was recently divorced and working part-time at his job. He didn't have the money to pay for the course he needed to take. He reached out to Jill, who was the administrator in the engineering office, and he called her every 10 minutes for help with this problem. He was struggling mentally, financially, and he was running out of options. By the grace of God, Penn State started a PDO program and introduced the required course to the school, and he was able to take it for free. When he was at his lowest point, this opportunity became available and he was saved. He completed the course and was on the path to his goal. Fall semester came around and he re-enrolled in class, ready to finish out the rest of his course, problem-free. By January of 2014, he's rolling through all of his courses with purpose and conviction. One day he received 7 phone calls in a row. during class. He feared the worst and assumed there was something wrong with his daughter. He stepped out of class and answered the phone. The call was from his mom. She told him to come home as soon as possible. His cousin had been killed outside of his home. He froze in disbelief. All he could think about at that moment was, this couldn't be true. This can't be happening. He rushed home to see his cousin still there, lifeless outside of his home. Still in shock, he thought to himself that there's no way that he could finish school. He had to take a leave of absence to cope with all of this. Then, just when he thought things couldn't get worse, he lost 2 more cousins the following week due to gun violence. Here he is, mid-February, and mentally unavailable from school, life, and anything that didn't concern his family. What he remembered was Sally saying, "Champions are made from hard work, not pity parties." So here he is today, sitting with us, the class of 2017, as he after tackling so many obstacles to make it here. Joe Paterno said, "Believe deep down in your heart that you are destined to do great things." As we go off into our professional lives that we have been living while eating dinner at Wawa and Wegmans, driving from different areas of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, I want you all to remember one thing. You are no longer students. You are no longer works in progress. You are now citizens of the real world. You have the responsibility to become a person worthy of joining and contributing to society. Because of who you are today, that's who you are. So be brave, be amazing, be worthy, and everything time you get a chance, stand up in front of people. Let them see you. Speak. Be heard. Go ahead and have the dry mouth. Let your heart beat so fast. Watch everything move in slow motion. And this is the only lesson you'll ever need to know. You take it in. You breathe this rare air. You feel alive. You be yourself. You truly, finally, always be yourself. Thank you.